Hey, all, Kyle here, AA0Z. I recently took a trip to the Northeast where I activated 9 pota states. And on the way through Connecticut, I stopped at the ARRL headquarters and got a bunch of random shots. So I want to share with you a bunch of these shots and kind of narrate what we're doing and what we're seeing here. So we arrived here on a Friday mid-morning, and here is us arriving, and W1AW, that's the operating clubhouse there, the operating station, and you don't see all of the antennas whenever you first pull up, and then you drive in and you're like, oh my gosh, look at all those antennas. So they have it kind of tucked away within some trees here, which is interesting. This is the main headquarters here, and here we're taking a look at some of the bricks and the monuments of major gift donors. So here's a list of major gift donors. Here's Second Century Campaign Committee. I'm not really sure what that was. Some more major gift donors, and then also there's some benches here that you can put your name on that people have. And you'll see also the bricks that people have inscribed. Here's Dan and Debbie White from Texas, W5DNT, Stephen West, Donna Karam. So now we're going over to the other side where the majority of the bricks are. And you can see people were able, at some point, I remember this campaign, you could buy this brick for like $250 and you could have something engraved in it. And people usually put their name and their call sign. A lot of silent keys. Family members have made a donation. There's also some more benches here that people have donated money to and put some type of description or saying in. So you can see all of the bricks here. This is probably 20 feet long and probably 40 or 50 bricks tall. It was huge. Now we're in the lab, and here's some of the things that the lab has tested. And this was a messy lab. I'm glad to see a messy lab, because if I was going to come in and see a really clean lab that you could probably eat off of, I'd probably be disappointed. But yeah, they were testing stuff. There's a Faraday cage in the back there that they were testing a radio that is probably going to come out in a future QST. Here's where the mess kind of started. You can see just radios piled up. There's some HTs on the countertop. There's Jason and Don Izzo who are taking in the instruction from Steve Goodgame. I want to thank Steve Goodgame for taking us around and introducing us to everyone. Here is a early radio receiver, and I want to take a look at this license, this commercial operator license. I'm not really sure what this was. I can't really read it, but obviously it was important enough that they put a frame on it and they put it in the corner. So if you know what this license is for, put a comment in the comments below. But one thing that I did not film or get on video was this room back here. They had a room, and on both sides were old vintage radios, and it probably went back 30 or 40 feet, and it was just radio after radio after radio. And it's amazing how the technology has changed throughout the years, and you can see how the technology and the radios progressed through, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and even before. But then you get to the end of this room, and this is where W1HQ is, and they've got the latest flex radio. They've got a huge TV that is doing SDR stuff, and it's all future, what radio is today and all the technology that goes into it, and it's really cool. Hopefully they will start doing some production there. They had a truss for some cameras, so hopefully they will start producing some videos out of W1HQ and actually showing us, all of the cool things that you can do with ham radio. But so this is, if you know what this is, put a comment below. So this is the Bureau, and I've never seen so many QSL cards in my life. It was jam-packed full of QSL cards. And somebody comes in here, I forgot what her name is, I'm sorry, but it's her job, and probably other people's jobs, to sort QSL cards. And every DX entity that you can probably think of is probably represented here through a bin. And I just see like Japan here, there's Germany, there's Qatar over here, Italy, Saudi Arabia. So I'm just looking at some of these bins here, and it goes on and on and on. So cards get sent in, and they get sent out. You can see Sweden here in the middle. It's got a lot of cards. There's Brazil, Russia, Poland. What is it? VEO, Ontario. So you can see that they've got, every bin has got a label, and cards go in, cards go out. They also have some cards that are, there is some more cards. Then they had some QSL cards that were just on the outside of the bins. Maybe you know some of these people. And then here is, I think, most of North America. You can see the W's, and there's some KH2s, Guam, KH6, Hawaii. You got KL7, which is Alaska, or KL's Alaska. So yeah, that's the Bureau. So this is the media room. This is all of the QSTs that I think have ever been produced, and there's some there at the bottom that I don't know if it goes back all the way, but you can see that 1922 QST is, I don't know if there's every single one of the QSTs. As you can see, like maybe 1924 maybe has some missing, but it's a collection. I mean, we rolled up in there, and we weren't touching anything because I didn't want these QSTs to turn to dust. But and then also here is all of, and you can see over here there's a QEX. So all of the magazines that the ARRL produces, they have here in this media room. But then also, it's every book that they ever produced is in this media room. So throughout the years, if you wanted to find a book that the ARRL has produced, it's there somewhere. We were kidding Don. We told him that his task for the day was to convert all the stuff to the Dewey Decimal System. So this is, in the main hallway, they've got this QST publication display, and the latest QST QEX NCJ is displayed on the wall. I think that was really cool to show off, their pride and joy of publications. I didn't see on the air there, but I'm sure that it probably will make it on the wall sometime soon. Here is the conference room. If you've seen any of Goodgame's videos or posts, social media posts on where he does the Teachers Institute, it is in this boardroom, which I think that they need to take some more room and put it, take that front room and convert it to a technology center and put all the Teacher Institute stuff in that front room and take that conference room and do something else with it. That's what I think. They had a lot of room there. Some of the stuff that they had, I'm like, oh, you could take that and you could take that. But, I don't work there. So it's very easy for me to do a Monday morning quarterback here. Here is W1AW. So now we're across the street or across the parking lot, and we are in W1AW. This is all of the racks, and these are where the bulletin radios are positioned. You can see these 7300s here in the middle of the racks. This is where all the bulletins get sent out from. And then I think that's a Yaesu something that might get used for. But all of the amplifiers and all of the manual switching is done here. And Joe, the station manager, sends out the bulletins. And thanks to Joe for pushing the bulletins out 15 minutes. Don't tell anybody. But they were supposed to go out at 3:45, and you can see on the clock it's 3:59, and Joe is just now setting up the bulletins. So we got an extra 15 minutes of operating. But here's the console. They send the bulletins out with FL Digi, so I thought that was kind of cool. This is where I operated from. So on the left-hand side was 10 meters. On the right-hand side was something else. I forgot what it was, but you can see that there's a Yaesu. Is that an FDX10? I don't know Yaesus other than my 891, but I'm sure somebody will correct me on what that radio is. Now, I know that that one on the right-hand side, that is a Kenwood. That looks like a TS2000. I'm sure that somebody else will correct me once this video gets released. So that's Studio 3. Here's Studio 2. And we've got some more, looks like that might be an ICOM and another Yaesu. Oh, and that's it. And, there's Studio 1 that we didn't get to, that I didn't film, but there's a Studio 1 too. But anyway, that's the random shots of HQ. Wanted to thank Goodgame again for showing us around. I met all of the people that you normally see out at the trade shows. I got to meet them, in their home environment, and also get to talk a lot of ham radio and what was going on with the league on a daily basis. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the description or the comments below. I don't know why I can't ever say that correctly, but anyway, it was a great trip. Glad that I got up to headquarters. I will definitely be back so I can work more W1AW and kind of hang out. We're pressed for time, but I want to spend a lot more time up there. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, and till next time, 73.